In 1990, Estefanía Gutiérrez Lázaro was a 16-year-old high school student living in Puente Alto, Chile. Known for her bright personality and close bond with her family, Estefania's life took a dark turn after a mysterious séance at her school. This night marked the beginning of a terrifying ordeal that would haunt her forever. The nightmare began when Estefanía and her friends gathered at school to play with a Ouija board, trying to contact a spirit. The planchette moved on its own, spelling out warnings and strange messages. After that night, Estefanía started having terrifying nightmares, strange illnesses, and unexplained marks on her body. This Ouija board session would change her life forever. After the séance, Estefania's behavior began to change. She started experiencing terrifying hallucinations, dark figures standing at the foot of her bed, whispers in the silence, and sudden fits of rage. Her once calm demeanor was replaced by fear and confusion. Her parents watched helplessly as their daughter slipped further into a waking nightmare that no doctor could explain. As Estefania's condition worsened, her family began to hear strange noises in the house, whispers, footsteps, doors slamming on their own. Her siblings spoke of cold spots and seeing her talking to things that weren't there. One night, Estefanía screamed that dark figures were crawling across the ceiling, watching her. Her parents were no longer dealing with a sick daughter, they believed something evil had entered their home. Desperate for help, Estefanía's family turned to priests and spiritual healers. Several exorcisms were attempted, but the dark presence only seemed to grow stronger. Estefanía's health deteriorated rapidly, she became weaker, covered in mysterious bruises, and began speaking in strange voices. Despite all efforts, the malevolent force refused to leave. As the supernatural attacks intensified, Estefanía was often found unconscious, with no explanation for her sudden collapses. Medical professionals were baffled, unable to find any physical cause for her symptoms. The family's faith was tested as the line between reality and the paranormal blurred, and hope began to fade with each passing day. One chilling night, Estefanía's family found her convulsing violently, her body contorted in unnatural positions. She screamed in languages no one understood, and her eyes glowed with an eerie light. The haunting reached a terrifying peak, forcing the family to confront a reality they never believed possible, that their daughter was possessed by a malevolent spirit. The family sought help from the Catholic Church, requesting an official exorcism. The priest arrived with holy water and sacred relics, determined to save Estefanía's soul. The exorcism was grueling and terrifying, with violent supernatural forces resisting at every turn. For hours, the family watched helplessly as their daughter battled against an unseen evil. After the exorcism, Estefanía seemed calm, for a moment. But the silence didn't last. That night, loud banging echoed through the house, and framed photos fell from the walls by themselves. Her younger siblings screamed, claiming to see something crawling across the ceiling. Whatever haunted Estefanía hadn't left, it had only grown bolder. Estefanía's final months were filled with horror. She lost her appetite, spoke of a man with no face watching her in her dreams, and began having seizures almost daily. Her voice would sometimes deepen unnaturally, and she'd whisper things her family swore weren't her words. They lived in fear, watching their daughter disappear into darkness, her spirit fading, piece by piece. On a hot August night in 1991, Estefanía let out a terrible scream and collapsed for the last time. Her family rushed her to the hospital, but doctors were helpless. No injuries, no explanation. Hours later, at just 16 years old, Estefanía Gutiérrez Lázaro was pronounced dead. But for the Gutiérrez family, her death marked only the beginning of something far darker. After Estefanía's death, the Gutierrez family believed the nightmare would end. But it didn't. In the weeks that followed, strange phenomena intensified, doors slammed violently, voices echoed in empty rooms, and a suffocating darkness clung to the apartment. Estefania's presence was still felt, but twisted, angry, and no longer the daughter they once knew. The haunting grew violent. One night, Estefania's father was thrown across the room by an invisible force. Burn marks appeared on furniture. Appliances turned on by themselves. The family barely slept, afraid the next moment might be their last. Whatever had followed Estefania in death had now turned its wrath on those she left behind. The Gutierrez family reported the haunting to the police. When officers arrived, they too witnessed unexplainable events, doors opening on their own, a crucifix flying across the room, and a chilling drop in temperature. The police report would later confirm the family's claims, making this one of Spain's most terrifying documented supernatural cases. To this day, the haunting of the Gutierrez family remains unsolved. Estefania's death was never explained, her autopsy listed no cause. Her spirit is believed by some to still linger in that Madrid apartment, trapped between worlds. The case inspired books, investigations, and eventually the 2017 film Verónica. But for the family, it was never just a story. It was real. And it still haunts them. The story of Estefanía Gutiérrez Lázaro is more than a chilling tale, it's a documented descent into the unknown, witnessed by family, doctors, and police alike. What truly happened in that Madrid apartment may never be fully explained. But one thing is certain, the horror was real. Subscribe to Only True Horror for more true stories that hide in the dark, waiting to be heard.